The following presentation is a brief report on the 2004 mission trips to Honduras. The video segments are from the trip dated February 20 to 29, 2004. Many of the slides are from the same trip, though there are some from last year's trip in April 2003. This will offer a pleasant retrospective to those privileged to have traveled to Honduras this year. While this presentation is very limited in its scope to present all that occurred, it will offer a brief insight into our experiences, spiritually, medically, and culturally. Our destination in Honduras was Limon, a small coastal village located along the Atlantic coast with a population of around 8,000 persons, though with a larger population scattered about in much smaller communities. Our entry into Honduras was at the airport in San Pedro Sula. Here we cleared through immigration and customs and then proceeded to gather our baggage, including the medicine and supplies we had brought from the U.S. for the work to be done in the week ahead. We were met in San Pedro Sula by Shane Cooper, a native of Honduras who works with the mission to accompany teams during their stay in Limon. From San Pedro Sula, we traveled by van and truck to La Ceiba, a relatively large city on the north-central coast. We spent the night here, at the La Quinta Hotel, comfortable accommodations within a short drive to the supermarket, where we would do the bulk of our food shopping the next day. Speaking of food, the first night we had dinner at Ricardo's. This is a nice restaurant, and the water is probably fine to drink, but you'll notice in this photo from last year, we all had bottled water. The following morning, our group gathered to make the trip to the supermarket to gather supplies for our week in Limon. There are a few basic staples available in Limon, but the bulk of the food must be purchased in La Ceiba.
Yeah, and Sarah get started, and we'll come over there. All right, that's great.
I'll take you, Carl.
Okay, we're ready.
A word about travel in Honduras. If there are any traffic rules, it doesn't seem that they are obeyed much.
There's a bike on your right. Okay. I got to cross 4 lanes of lethal traffic here.
Well, isn't that nice?
Yeah. I'll just got to negotiate the other two lanes and we'll be all right.
Looks like now.
And of course, it wouldn't be an official mission trip if you didn't travel in the back of a pickup truck at least once.
Long way to Limon. Dusty and dirty. We're all here.
Drive safe there, Patrick.
See you in a week.
Shopping for a week's worth of groceries for 12 is no easy task, and neither is figuring out where to put it all. Here we are at Supermercado Omega, getting our groceries for the week. Spent the last 2 hours shopping. And of course, all that shopping made us hungry. Time for lunch at an authentic Honduran restaurant. Pizza Hut! After lunch, there was more shopping to do in downtown La Ceiba. We're here in La Ceiba, outside another market. We're waiting for Shane and Elizabeth and Sarah to get back, getting our fish. We bought some things here. In Tocoa, a town on the way to Limon, we made one final grocery stop for vegetables at the fresh market, Honduran style.
Shane.
Pineapple, chopped
In case you're wondering, since we were visitors to a foreign country, we did want to behave ourselves and not get into any trouble. Fortunately, Laura was with us to be a role model and all-around good influence.
All right.
Finally, after 2 long days of travel, we arrived in the evening at our destination, the medical clinic in Limon, Honduras, pictured here from the beach. After unloading our vehicles, we unpacked our provisions and made ourselves at home. The living and working quarters are generally very comfortable. Perhaps one of the favorite gathering places was the deck overlooking the ocean. On Sunday morning, many took the opportunity to worship at Iglesia Bautista Biblica de Limon. The hymns and sermon were in Spanish, but many of the hymns were recognizable tunes. After services and lunch, there was time to enjoy the beach for the afternoon. You can speak with one of the fishermen tending their nets. Just enjoy the beach along with the natives. And maybe even talk someone into a ride on their horse. The free time Sunday afternoon was a welcome rest before the busy schedule for the upcoming week. Depending on how long it has been since another team has been in town to provide care, the clinic can be a hectic environment. This is the door to the clinic. It's here the patients come in and are checked in. Small amount of people in line outside. They check in here at the window. They're signed in. Afterwards, they come into the waiting room. And then here to be checked in. Ken Giffen checking in a patient. Gladys, how'd it work?
What?
Buenos dias, Gladys. Don't let me interrupt you.
I'm through with this.
Okay. Busy day after today.
Gracias. God bless you.
A hug from Gladys has to be about the best medicine in the world, huh?
We all get a dose every morning.
That's right.
That's my privilege.
All right.
I love you.
Love you too, Glenn. Once the patients are checked in, they come back out to the waiting room where they wait here to be seen. We also have patients who wait for the dentist. Hello, Gloria.
Hello, how are you?
All right, Gloria's our lab tech. She tells us what to do with all these strange diseases that we see that we don't have in the States.
I just try. I try to do my best to help the community with the groups. Because the groups come here to help the community.
Yes, they do.
But a little bit I know about tropical disease or how to help the patients, then I try to communicate with the group.
Gloria has forgotten more about tropical diseases than any of us ever learned about.
Oh,
So.
please. No. Yes. And you welcome here. Patients was waiting for this group like the water of May. This is like something so important because so many patients need treatment and the government clinic is not enough.
Yeah.
And the medicine that the group bring is very good, and you can see how full is this waiting area.
Yeah, very busy
Yes,
today.
very
As every day is very busy. So.
day. And congratulations for what you are doing.
Oh, thank you. It's our privilege to be here. We enjoy it, and we're made to feel very welcome here. So, and thank you for all your help. I don't think I could get by with
You're welcome.
after telling us how to handle some of these things. So,
You're very welcome.
if you have any more malaria, let us know.
Oh yes, I found 2 this morning.
I saw them.
Yes.
They come
Mother
back.
and daughter.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's not too much malaria like before.
Okay.
Yes. Oh.
Well, I was a little worried yesterday because all 4 people I had checked came back positive,
Yes.
which made me wonder if I'm missing somebody somewhere down the line.
No, but now it's more control because patients have been treated and they have education too.
Yeah.
They teach them how to take care of the garbage and the water,
Okay.
and all this helps.
Good. Well, thank you for taking some time to chat with me this morning. I'm going to continue on my tour of the clinic here.
All right.
Excuse me. Patients being checked in here. Hola. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Cómo está?
Bien, ¿y usted?
Ah, bien, gracias. Bruce and Jim hard at work. What do you think, Bruce? Can Jim run his own chair next year?
Absolutely.
No way. No way.
My address will be,
How about doubts about this year?
my address will be beachside.
Sí.
¿Cómo está hoy?
No, gracias a Dios estoy.
¿Tiene dolor de cabeza?
Dolor de cabeza.
¿Por cuánto tiempo?
Bueno, solo a veces
Sí.
me duele, a veces tal vez 2 días para que me calme. Después, bueno, yo me siento normal. Por ejemplo, ahorita, bueno, yo estoy bien, gracias a Dios, pero ya a veces cuando me pega hasta 2 días no se me quita.
Sí. Cuando usted tiene dolor de cabeza, entonces tome medicina.
Tomo Panadol.
¿Qué tipo?
Panadol.
Panadol y se ayuda.
Tylenol.
Tylenol. Sí, le ayuda.
Ajá, me ayuda.
Okay. Sí. Y también hay problema de estómago.
Sí, hay problemas estomacales.
¿Qué tipo de problemas?
Por ejemplo, me duele el estómago a veces.
Sí.
No todo el tiempo.
¿Antes de comida o después?
A veces cuando tal vez voy a trabajar, a veces sin comer, alguna cosa así, entonces empieza a pegar la mano.
¿Y qué tipo de...?
Kyla y
Keila, esa.
Kayla
Keila.
y Marcelina. Marcelina, ¿cuál es su problema? Tiene
Problema, dolor de cabeza,
Headache,
mareo,
dizziness,
sores,
sores, and high blood pressure.
Okay. Does she know the medicine that she takes for high blood pressure?
Que si tú andas la medicina o sabes cuál es la medicina que usas para la alta presión.
ya no tengo ahorita, es una pastilla que me dieron,
Cartidine.
ya no tengo, esa se llamaba Tirelena, pero son unas pastillas pequeñas en café.
She hasn't had any for a while. Is that what she was saying?
¿Cuánta? No me dijiste porque ni la medication
Toda esa semana he estado buenísima.
all week.
Oh, wait, just 1 week.
Yeah.
Todos los días me pego.
And does she have any with the is it the same medicine that she was given here last February, last year?
Que si todavía seguís tomando la medicina que te dieron en febrero, en el año pasado.
No, ya no tengo nada de medicina, nada de medicamento.
She don't have any medicine.
Okay.
Check her heart. And this is her sights. Okay. Is she having chest pain?
¿Tiene dolor en el pecho?
Yeah, up there. Okay. But no pain up in her chest. No shortness of breath.
Sometime in the next 2 days. Yeah, sure. Sometime at night.
Okay, but not consistently. And no problem when she walks.
¿No tiene problema cuando camina ligero?
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Le pega cansancio? Yeah.
She has chest pain with that.
And she's like, she can't breathe.
Any vomiting or diarrhea?
No tiene diarrea ni vómito.
And she's seen parasites. Is she ever been treated for blood pressure?
¿Usted le ha dado tratamiento para la alta presión? ¿Medicina? Sí.
Is she taking medicine?
¿Está bebiendo ahorita para la alta presión? No. Siéntese ahí. Sí, ahí.
Those without a medical background were perhaps concerned about how they would contribute, but none of the work seeing patients could have been possible without the support we received from everyone. Whether it was helping out in the pharmacy or dispensing anteojos, eyeglasses, to very appreciative patients. We were very busy this year, but we still had time to make friends with our native coworkers, meet many people whom we saw as patients, and enjoy the community of Limon. Pictured here is Bernie Little with his translator and dear friend, Justo Castro. The patients were very appreciative of the care they received, and generally seemed to be happy. We had opportunities as well to walk about Limon and enjoy the culture. The people were always friendly, and even willing to share their catch of the day. No thanks, I ate already. Remember, iguana for 12, and whatever you cook it with. Our experiences made it hard to leave at the end of the week, and not just because we left out on the same terrible roads we came in on.
Far left is definitely a bit better. Looks a little better. Yards anyway. Out to the interstate.
After a difficult week of travel, work, and cultural shock, our 2 nights spent at the lodge at Pico Benito outside of La Ceiba were a welcome refreshment. There is more left untold than has been told. To fully understand the experience, you must be part of it. But one final note in closing. A missionary who grew up in Brazil once recounted that the word for friend among many of the indigenous tribes was the one who eats with me. For 10 days the groups not only ate together, but lived and worked together in a strange land. May we always treasure that time and those relationships. May we know the Lord in our presence, and may we always feast in fellowship with Him.
Be present at our table, Lord. Be here and everywhere adored. All ye